Boom! Shotgun, rifle, shotgun. Guess what? It's Friday, and once again, because I don't have a job or a life, I'm gonna sit here and make a video. Today, I'm gonna talk about the things that I think made the 90s. I mean, like, made them exactly as epic and wonderful as they were. 1993! Here again. Boom! It's my lucky number today. It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Hold on! So, to start off my list, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna talk about something that I don't think most of you guys would even. I loved Legend of the Hidden Temple. And whoever was the last team standing, there was two of you, there were always two. Last team standing had to go through the Hidden Temple. Not only were you like running through this mass craziness of this like dark, smoky temple, but you also had to work your way away from the temple gods. Out of nowhere, these men in like tiny Tarzan-looking outfits and headdresses and like eyeliner would run out and attack you and grab you, and then your partner would have to go. And if your partner got grabbed by a temple god, then you guys were done. And I always would watch it and be like, oh my gosh, if I did this, I would make it all the way through. But I also know that if somebody would have came out, if I would have got caught by a temple god, I probably would have like backhanded him and got kicked off the show. Another show I wish was still on TV from the 90s is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because it wasn't even like genuinely scary now that I think about it, but back in the day, that crap could make you like pee your pants. Are You Afraid of the Dark made me pee my pants once in a while. Like first of all, how many of your parents would let you leave the house at like 11 o'clock to go meet up with your friends in some desolate patch of woods behind your house to go tell each other ghost stories? They would get there into their circle, whatever, of friendship, and before they would start the story, they had this bag of like mystical sand, but they would sit around the fire Lord knows who started that fire. They have fire all the time. Like, there was no fire pit, but they'd always have a fire. They'd sit there around the fire, and the person would always do the famous line that I love, and they'd have their back stand. They'd be like, submitted for the people of the Midnight Society. They grabbed their little thing of sand. I tell this story. Whoosh, the fire would blow up because of the mystical sand, and then it would have the title of the scary story, which was never really that scary, but as a kid it was pretty damn scary. The third thing, like I said, 3 is my number today, was how Power Rangers were like secretly trying to tell you that colors defined your race. Original Power Rangers from the 90s, if you looked at all of them, the black Power Ranger was in a black suit. The Asian Power Ranger was in a yellow suit. And then the pink, red, and green, I believe the other color was, they were all white. You can't have any other color but yellow. So if you walk around school and you're like, I'm gonna be the red Power Ranger, but you were Asian, you were wrong. You're gonna be the yellow Power Ranger because you don't have a choice. I liked how when I was a kid, everybody at lunch would have either a Twinkie or a fruit roll-up. But if you don't have either like a Twinkie or a fruit roll-up in your lunch sack, you were lame. You have to have something to contribute to the trade if you're gonna go to lunch as a kid in the 90s. I miss how extremely serious boy band competitions were. You were either Team Backstreet or Team NSYNC. There was no middle ground. Fangirls, you need to start having these big competitions and being serious about it. Like, it needs to be almost as serious as the Star Wars versus Star Trek fight, because that's how serious it was between the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I like how, me personally, I don't know if it was it's probably just me who thinks about stuff like this, but my favorite theme songs of the 90s had absolutely no lyrics. My favorite theme songs were Hey Arnold, from Doug, from Recess, from Rugrats and from the show I talked about earlier, Are You Afraid of the Dark, just because it was so eerie and creepy, and the swing was going by itself, and it was like, oh god. I also loved in the 90s how after Space Jam came out, or like Space Jam was a big deal around that time. After Space Jam came out and everybody watched Space Jam, we all thought we knew exactly how Michael Jordan's life story played out. We know that the reason why he quit playing baseball was not just because he sucks. No, the reason he quit playing baseball was because Bugs Bunny and Tweety Bird and the Roadrunner and all those characters from Looney Tunes encouraged him to play basketball again, and he realized that that was what he was meant to be doing. It's a true story. And then we all tried to get sucked down into Looney Tune land. If you saw a little hole on the golf course, we were all putting our hands in it, waiting for a rope to come out and I personally still believe Looney Tune land exists. Either I'm just looking in the wrong golf courses, or maybe they just don't need me right now, like Narnia, where you can't go in the same way. So maybe Michael Jordan ruined it. Maybe he closed my portal. So yeah, there you go. There you have it. That's my list of things, of reasons why I love being a 90s baby with all my heart. I would never want to be born in any other decade ever, especially not this one. Sorry for all you babies that have to be born around this time, because it sucks. But that's my list. That is my list of things of why I love being a 90s baby. Hopefully you guys remember some of those things. Hopefully all you 90s babies out there know that it's awesome to be a 90s baby and are not ashamed, and you should go around and flaunt it daily by doing stupid things like wearing a fanny pack and saying "da bomb," because you a 90s baby and you can.